game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
In a short format tournament like this, like the Olympics, now this is even smaller, only 4 teams, who's got the best goaltending? You're talking 3 round robin games and then a knockout with 4 teams. So you're playing 5 games.
I'm not sold yet, Mike, on the USA stuff, on the merch, but I think I'm sold on the USA at least being in the final.
Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day on a fabulous Thursday. How about that? I'm Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time. We got hockey. The 4 Nations tournament continues tonight with USA in action. How about that? Little NBA, little college basketball to keep us posted and entertained over the next 2 glorious hours. We got same-game parlays, black clouds, maybe some NBA and MLB props that we can get to that we didn't get to last night. We'll get to tonight over the next 2 hours. So should be a lot of fun. Hopefully make a couple of shekels along the way. What's going on, Dave? How are you tonight?
Did you say fabulous Thursday? Did you change the first letter of Thursday to an F? You threw me off.
Yeah, we jumped it there a little bit.
That's all right.
We got to come up with a good one for Thursday.
Listen, we got to come up with some stuff to do today because the college basketball card, albeit it's quantity-wise okay, quantity or quality-wise not so much. So rely on you to come up with some bets or something there to talk about. NBA is the day before the All-Star break. What the hell do you do with the NBA the day before the All-Star break? Tread cautiously is what you do, even on a fabulous Thursday. But I got to tell you, I mean, yesterday we took a shift during the show, in-game live game day, and hockey was on, and it was great. Canada prevails. The game goes over the total, so the people were happy on the podcast. All the what do you call them? The OGs, the original listeners, all the people that
LLs.
Hear you.
LWs.
The what?
LLs or LWs.
LLs, yeah, all the LLs, the loyal listeners, yes. That was great. I really enjoyed that game. I wore the OKC hat today because it's Navy, but I got my USA baseball jersey on because I'm all about the USA. I think they covered a puck line. I can't wait to watch these guys play. Expect great puck movement. I feel like if this closes this number, which it is, they get a 1-0 lead, and it's going to go to minus 600. I mean, in price may double. There will be opportunity like there was yesterday to take Sweden plus 2.5. I think you might be able to get Finland plus 3.5 some point during the game. 5-2 final tonight or 4-1. Haven't decided yet where it's going. Don't expect Finland to score more than 1 or 2 goals. So that's where I'm at with the hockey. Going to rely on you to come up with some black clouds and some same game parlays and everything else. Whatever your magic act performs tonight, let's go.
Yeah, we got maybe the craziest college basketball line this year. I will go further than that this year. Yeah, just our sucker line of the night. We'll get to that for sure. I'm surprised now that the over hit last night in the hockey, right? It took a little overtime, but that's okay, even though because it was originally 5.5, so they bumped it to 6.5, and it still went over with the OT there. So it is 5.5. It was like the perfect storm, really. Whereas I think all these games are going over. I tell my guys, bet all the overs. They're all 5.5s. At least the first round matchups for the most part. I see Canada now, USA for Saturday is 6.5, but everything else is 5.5. And I just don't see these games going under. Now, we didn't have a high scoring affair last night, but we didn't have any checking. There were only 2 penalties scored in the whole game. So it was up and down the ice. If you watch the game, Dave, and I imagine USA Finland's going to be the same thing. I'm a little surprised. You think what? Because the goaltending is so good for USA that Finland's not going to score more than 1 goal or so. Because I got this like a 5-2, 6-3, 6-2 type of game.
I think it'll be like I said, it's either 5-2 or 4-1, which again would get you under a number or over a number. So I think it's about a 3-goal deficit. I think Finland's going to have trouble getting the puck to the net. The lines and the defensive pairings and stuff for the USA look really strong. And again, Finland's going to be trying. I just think it's a tall task.
They got some NHL players, Dave. They got Aho, they got Barkov. My favorite guy from Dallas, Rupe Hintz, Lehkonen.
Yes, they have.
They got some guys like Teravainen.
I think their top line is great, but I think second, third, fourth lines, it's going to be limited, and they may play a more defensive style game. I think the only way Finland can win is to play a defensive game, not like in the shell. Or, very left wing lock or something like that. But I just think it's going to I don't want to say it's going to be boring, but I think for them to win, they have to play kind of a boring road game, which has been success in hockey back since, we go back to the 90s when they started doing it, right? So it works. We'll see if it works for Finland tonight.
Minus 430. That's more, that's just, you can't bet that, right? I mean, even laying a goal and a half as you lay in $1.50, which I guess isn't that bad. I didn't look at regulation. What's it, probably about 2-1 to win a regulation? Believe it or not, yeah, they do. Yeah, 240.
Right.
So how do you bet it then? Hope that USA trails?
Now, if they trail, there'll be an avalanche of money. No pun intended, the Avalanche hockey team. But there'll be nothing but USA bets. That's the other thing. When you do games like this, a lot of people, you take a lot of volume and end up, as the book, sometimes rooting against your country because everybody's betting one side. So it wouldn't bother the books tonight at all if Finland won. I can tell you that. There's probably books all over the world that need Finland to at least keep it close within the puck line, ideally, or a win. Yesterday was probably a big decision up in Canada, I would think.
Right.
Reports came out today about different states and their handle and different things like that. New York won $40 million on $155 million in handle on the Super Bowl. Pennsylvania did $100 million in handle and lost $6 million. So hometown team winning ain't always the best for the book. That goes back to Louis the Lip. You remember back in the day when the home team won, Louis the Lip was a little grumpy. When the home team lost, Louis the Lip couldn't wait to meet you because he was probably out, picking up rather than dropping off.
I was surprised, actually, it was only $6 million. Honestly, all right. I mean, Philadelphia's a major market, right? Biggest town by far in Pennsylvania. And so you got to figure all those people are betting on the Eagles. It's not a, point spread situation. So you just bet them to win. So the only 6.5, I think, Pennsylvania bookies should be happy that they didn't lose more than that.
Would have been way worse, Scott, if Saquon would have scored a touchdown. Or gone over the yardage. So they won by both of those things going under. If one of those things would have happened over, there would have been some more, bookie crying, which I don't like. When you're the book, you take it in the chin, because you win way more than you don't. So when you lose, nobody really cries for you. I don't want to hear that.
Like any goal scorer in this game for USA? Austin Matthews is +1. You're getting plus money. Matthews plus 140, Jack Hughes plus 165, Kyle Connor plus
Eichel?
190, plus
What's
250.
Eichel?
Plus
So
250.
Eichel was really good before the break, and if they use him in the spot that the Knights used him on the power play, although he'll probably be more of a facilitator, maybe Jack Eichel to get a point, but him to score a goal. If he's getting, I don't know how many power plays they're going to get, but he's going to have the puck on his stick a lot.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is there anybody from Montreal on Team USA since the game is in Montreal? Joel Adams, plus 9-1. If you want to play just a little hunch, that would.
This isn't an all-star game.
I know.
They ain't gonna beat him. Come on.
Goofiest college basketball line ever coming up next.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. In-game live game day here on the grid on this Thursday evening. Getting set for some Team USA hockey. How about that? Taking on Finland in the Four Nations tournament. Drop the first puck here in about 5 minutes or so. So still time to get some pregame bets in. And with that, let's bring in our guy, Tom Vecchio. You see it here all the time here on the grid. What's going on, Tom? How are you tonight?
I am doing awesome. Super pumped for Team USA. It has been a long time coming to get NHL players repping that Team USA jersey. Huge game to start things off. Obviously, the big game, I should say, is actually on Saturday night versus Team Canada. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, last night was a really interesting game. It was fun the way that the Bell Center was electric, and like you had mentioned during the commercial break, seeing them cheer for Brad Marchand was pretty cool. I don't know how much they're going to be on the edge of their seats like they were yesterday, but you got a bunch of bets, and you made one a couple days ago that seems like it was a good bet. Then it's still a good bet, but the price has changed. You like the puck line tonight? You really do?
I do. I was on the early line on Tuesday morning, and I talked about Team USA -1.5. It was -115 at that time. It's -148 or so today, give or take. This is what we should be seeing from now. -170?
170, Tom. Yeah, 170, okay. And the money line is 5-1 on FanDuel. How crazy is that?
Okay, so these have obviously changed. Like the 5-1 on the money line implies that like they are the dominant favorite. They should be winning by multiple goals. And what we should be seeing from this game, I think, like the flow of this game is going to be determined solely, I don't want to say maybe not solely, but a lot by what we see from Finland's offense. Because what we know, like from Team USA, is set in stone. Great goaltending, great defense, amazing offense, good offense from Finland. Really question marks when it comes to defense and goaltending. UC Saros has not been good in that for the Predators this season. And their defense is banged up after, losing Meyer Heiskanen and Rasmus Ristolainen. So what we get from their offense will determine the game flow, because this could very easily end 4-1. I'm expecting like a 5-1, maybe 5-2 type of game. We see the overhit and we see Team USA cover the puck line.
That's funny. That's what Sharapan said. Same basic score, right, Dave? Yeah. So do you like the over then? If you had, you can't play 5-1, and maybe you can play the -1.5. If you were going to play the over/under, or would you just stay away? It's just a hunch, one way or the other. Maybe team total USA. How about team total USA goals? That they post at 3.5 and -174. So
at that point, I'd probably just play the over 5.5, expecting, like I said, a 4-2 game. Right, I think it's just a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not outcome dependent, and even if Finland does push back on offense, that's actually great for the game environment overall. So you don't have to worry about them covering the -1.5. You just get the game and it goes 4-2, 4-3, whatever it might be, which I don't think it will be, but I think the total would be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I was talking about it with someone else earlier today too. I don't expect the USA is going to dominate the puck. They're going to have a lot of puck possession, and trying to find somebody on Finland to score, let alone I don't even know how many shots on goal they're going to get. I like the Finland team total under if it's 2.5 or less. I don't think they score more than 2 goals. I got either 4-2, 5-1, or it could be 4-1 and actually stay under the total if they only get 1 goal. But who do you like? It's hard, and it's kind of taking shots. But do you like anybody specifically to score a goal or get a point?
So on Team USA, I like Kyle Connor to score a goal. Their offense is loaded, right? And Austin Matthews could go with no goals tonight, and they still put up 5 goals because it's Jack Eichel and Jack Hughes and Matthew Tkachuk and Jake Gensel. I like Kyle Connor. I like at least somewhat of history that he has going up against UC Saros in the Central Division. We also have the boost on FanDuel, so you can get him at +200, add the boosting, gets him at +250, which is just an awesome price for an elite goal scorer who I think always should be in conversation for the Rocket Richard. So I like Kyle Connor for a goal. And then on the Finland side, Arturi Lehkonen is going to be on that top line alongside Sasha Barkov and Mikko Rantanen. Now he's going to be on the second power play. So we do have some good offensive time for Lehkonen. And realistically, I think there's a chance that he goes slightly overlooked, at least in terms of Team USA defensive marking, where Barkov and Rantanen are just factually better offensive players. And if that opens up any opportunity for Lehkonen, they have to be puck-first shooting because, they're, as you said, Dave, they're not going to have a ton of puck possession, so they have to get the chances to net when they can find them.
We had a quick goal last night, right, in the first 2 minutes. Only 2 penalties last night, but we did get one early on, obviously. How about the goal in the first 5 minutes again tonight, +174? Any interest?
Is there a 10-minute? Is there a different line?
There is, -150. Big drop.
Yeah, that's a big change. And what's is the first period 1.5? What's that?
Let us see. First period total goals. 1.5. That's not bad. 1.5. -122.
I'd probably have more interest in that because if we can get that goal early and a lucky bounce from Finland would really have to have Team USA kick things into gear, and that would be a really interesting dynamic of what happens if Finland scores first. What do we see from Team USA in responding? Because they could get like one shot on goal, 2 shots, a lucky bounce, and then, Dave, as you said, you're not going to sure how many shots they're going to have. We could see this flip the other way where Team USA all starts dominating the puck possession. We're going to see them outshoot them 15-3 in the first.
Ooh. Talking about having interest, it's the night before the NBA All-Star Weekend, and there's 5 games. Do you have any interest in that at all? Because it's really hard to find spots. Anything you got on the board for that?
Yeah, there's a lot of veterans resting today, as we often see the last few games before the All-Star break. But let's go to Norman Powell for the Clippers, over 23.5 points. Really like this spot. He's in the 3-point contest, so let's have him. He's coming off a bit of a slow game last night. Build some momentum going into the 3-point contest. He leads the Clippers in scoring. He's shooting nearly 50% from the field. He's shooting over 40% from downtown. It is a great matchup going up against the Jazz. Kawhi Leonard's not playing tonight. It's like not a massive usage thing where all of a sudden, Norman Powell's going to be seeing all this extra usage because Kawhi's off the court. No, Norman Powell already leads the Clippers in scoring this year, but I love the fact that he's playing in the 3-point contest. So let's feed him the ball, get him warmed up for that.
Ooh, there you go. Not too bad. All right, we'll take a quick little break. We'll come back. We'll see if Tom has any more hockey plays for the second half of the NHL season, who he likes, who's he going to, has winning the Four Nations tournament, and then maybe some college basketball and some more NBA with him. And we still got to get to our college basketball sucker line of the night. This college line makes absolutely no sense. We'll get to that when we come back. USA and Finland coming up there in maybe 2 minutes or so.
Slow play drum beat grows louder and louder every week, to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scover and when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who know how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's is offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night, but it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave talking with Tom Vecchio, who you see it here all the time here on the grid. One of our guys talking little pucks here, so we're underway. No score. First minute in, USA and Finland. We'll keep you posted on that. A little scuffle there. Very nice.
Love it.
Took only a minute. I don't think we got any last night, or at least I didn't see any when we were doing the show. But there you go. Throw some punches. I want to see the Kachuk brothers, go up against each other. I know they're on the same team, but still, I want to see teammates or brothers or something else kind of go up. So we last left time with NBA. Let's go back to that for a second. So you got 3 other games. You got 2 in progress. As Dave was talking last game before the All-Star break, who knows who's playing, and if they are playing, seriously. Any other thoughts about the NBA before we maybe do a little college basketball?
I don't mind Miami tonight, especially going up against Dallas. And, we were on last night, right as you were saying, OKC, this is the time to jump on them. They're not, Miami's not going to win the game at OKC. Blown opportunity, let's just call it what it is for the Heat. There's no Kyrie from Dallas tonight. This is a game that the Heat need to win. And it's not a spot. They're getting to a point in the season where they don't have games to give away anymore. And they trade away Jimmy Butler. We know what the expectations are for them overall. But if they want to make the play-in, make the playoffs where be, they need to pick up wins when they can get them. And tonight's a game that they should be winning, going up against the Mavericks when they are not nearly at full strength.
I feel like we got away with one yesterday, boys, with that OKC, because they were down by 11 going into the third quarter and win the fourth quarter 32-8. 32-8 was the fourth quarter. They're playing in Minnesota tonight. You see that number, and that screams to take Minnesota. I mean, it screams to take Minnesota, but you can't really do it, can you? I don't like it. I don't love it. I don't even want to talk about it. You got anything there, Vecchio?
I would side with Minnesota. I would also probably side on the under. What we get from OKC it's tough for me to judge at times, especially with Chet Holmgren back. At a certain point, and I talked about this with Mike Blewett when we were getting ready for the Super Bowl show, they need to get Chet Holmgren back involved in the offense. But how does that detract from how good they are right now? Because they've been cruising really for the majority of the season. But getting Chet Holmgren back involved, which they need to get him just up to full speed, get the offense humming before the playoffs, that's going to create some amount of inefficiency, some amount of gray areas where they're just not as good as they were because they need to, I don't want to say force the ball to him, but he needs to have the ball. They need to get him going. So I would side with the under. I just don't know if their offense is going to be moving on all cylinders tonight.
Yeah. One last thing about Miami. The same thing happened to them 2 games ago against the Brooklyn Nets. They had a double-digit fourth quarter lead, and they were outscored 31-9 in the fourth quarter. I mean, to have that happen 2 times out of a week stretch. I mean, but I don't know how they lose tonight. There's no Clay. There's no, obviously there's no Luka. So there's no Kyrie for Dallas, and add on all the other injuries. I mean, that's that is the NBA. Your Dallas Mavericks got a chance to win a game. They can't give up any games either. They're on the cusp of not making the playoffs, and you got a wounded team like Miami coming into town, and the 2 best players on the team decide that they're not going to play tonight. It's just the NBA is so tough. It really is tough.
So we have a penalty coming up. Finland just took a penalty, so USA power play is coming up right now.
Here it goes.
Okay.
All right. This is good. We'll get the goal. Tom, real quick. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Are you doing anything special for Valentine's Day? I did game day in-game game day with Walsh, and he had a pink suit on. He was all suited up, and I was teasing him that he was doing something for Valentine's Day. I thought, you're a young guy. What's your Valentine's Day look like tomorrow?
Normal stuff. No, I have no Valentine. I'll be on SportsGrid. I'll be on SportsGrid on Saturday. With Brady at Saturday night, 8 to 11. Okay. Normal day for me.
Saturday night, USA Canada. I cannot wait to watch it. I would cancel Valentine's Day dinner if I was going to one. I already told the wife. She's already going bowling, so we're already in love. It's fine. I can't wait to watch that hockey game. What do you expect Saturday night?
Over 1.5 in the first period, and we talked about this on football shows, like a skill shot, Dave, as you say. Over 1.5 in the first period, but I still like the game under 6.5. I think the energy will come out flying. There's going to be emotion in the Bell Center. Team USA versus Canada, the first time, however, all these NHL players playing. We're going to see scoring early, and things are really, really going to tighten up. You got to remember that Team Canada only got 2 points last night because they didn't win the game in regulation. If Team USA can come away with 3 points tonight and they can come away with the win on that, or get 2 points out of that, or 1 point, they'll have the leg up going into that final game and have home ice, metaphorically and realistically speaking.
Great job, Tom. Then we'll do it again soon. Tom Vecchio, SportsGrid host, right here on the grid. Dave and I coming back in a second.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scover and when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave for another hour and a half or so. Thanks to Tom Vecchio for joining us with all the insights into the NHL, little college basketball, little NBA as well. So a little late with it, but never late than better. And that's our SGP same game parlay time. All right, now I did not realize who was and was not playing, so this is going to have to get adjusted here a little bit, but you know what? That's okay. We're still going to go with the main components of this, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. I know there's no Kyrie Irving tonight. We found out later in the day. No Klay Thompson. Both are weaseling out. You know, the whole team is injured. You got the Miami Heat, coming to town. He got a winnable game. Dallas is... I don't understand this. You're trying to get into the postseason, are you not? A day after scoring 40 points, Kyrie decides he's not healthy enough to play tonight.
He had a big game yesterday. It's back to back. As you get older, you can't do it like you used to on a back-to-back night. Give these guys a break a little bit.
Let me tell you, if I could ref back-to-back games as old as I am, him at 30 or 29 or whatever he is can play stinking basketball. Yeah, he's not even traveling. They're 2 home games, for goodness sakes.
That's
Again,
true.
maybe you can't go 30 minutes. Go 5. Go 20. Go tell
Fair.
the coach, hey, listen, I'll give you a fourth quarter. Keep it close. I'll play the something. Some emotional. Honestly, you're telling me you're so injured that you can't sit on the bench dressed and just say, listen, I'm not playing tonight. Unless it's the final minute and you need me to, run a play or at least stand there and be a decoy. Because, if I'm on the court, they have to guard me. He's not even willing to do that. Really?
I would say to the, just to change. Everybody's trying to figure out ways to change it, make it more incentivized. I just would pull the player aside and say, look, I ain't going to start you, and I ain't going to play you unless I need you. But can I count on you for 15 to 20 quality minutes tonight? That's all.
Right.
And if you do it, you'll set an example for the rest of the guys on the team that, look, if Kyrie's playing on the back-to-back nights, maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'll tape it up. I'll fight through it. Or I'll be available, just at least a uniform. That's the way I would approach it, but I'm old. So it's a different time and it's a different place. Guys got their own things. They got their own deals. I totally get it. Give the people the same game parlay, please. Come on.
All right, little big. I'm trying to put it in right now with these adjusted lines, but figure it out. It's we don't quite have all the pieces. So give me the Dallas Mavericks. They're getting actually +3. Our screen had -1.5 like they were this afternoon.
Okay.
But give me Dallas. I'm going to stick with the over, and it went up to actually 218.5, even though Kyrie and Clay aren't playing. But give me the over. We'll throw out the Kyries, and then we'll go grab Bam Adebayo with 8 rebounds at -550. So when I put it in with a couple of Kyrie and a Clay props, it was up to 9.5 to 1. This is probably going to be, maybe 2, maybe 3 to 1. Maybe 3 to 1.
Okay. Just under 4 to 1, most likely, depending on the prices. All right, that's fine. Listen, I can't believe Miami lost that game the way they did.
Oh my goodness!
Probably should pick against them.
And
I mean,
they got the push, Dave. That's the kicker of it all. You're laying 14, maybe 14.5, but the original line, at least game time line, was 14. They came all the way back down double digits and covered, or at least got you the push, which is amazing.
It's unreal. Yeah, 115 to 101 final yesterday. 14 was the opening number.
I couldn't believe when I saw the score. I couldn't believe it. When I saw the score.
I couldn't either. I couldn't either. I was laughing because I got a couple texts that said, thanks for the OKC call on SportsGrid -2.5. And I'm like, oh, geez, I'm glad it won. But I was like, oh, how'd they win that? And I went back and looked. Hey!
Ooh.
Hey! That has to be a USA goal.
I don't know. I got Finland with the puck. I'm about 30 seconds behind.
Is it Finland?
It's Finland. Ooh, through the pipes. 5 holes.
Wow. 1-0 Finland. And dare I say, first goal in the first 10 minutes gets there. So, 12:29 left. So goal in the first 10 minutes cashes. Everybody thought it would be USA. So did we. And it's Finland on a soft one. Listen, Hellebuck has been that guy that's done it so well in the regular season. It's the first big game. Like, he hasn't had a playoff run. Boy, that was from outside the faceoff dot on the right wing side. And it was just looked like a little wrister. Was not deflected. Yeah. It went under his arm. Okay, we got a hockey game, boys and girls. That's good. Great job with the horn, Matty D. And it's 1-0. Away we go. Wow. Here we go.
I hate to say it, but
what?
That's what that is. That's the playoff Connor Hellebuck. That's why no one really kind of believes in Winnipeg. There you go. You give up a goal like that. You could have stopped that, Dave. I mean, honestly.
Listen, nobody beat me on my blocker side. If you needed to beat me, you went high glove side. That was my spot. I was really good with that blocker when I subbed in to play hockey. I was not a goalie, and I did it on ice one time, just because some of the best ways to learn a sport and to appreciate your teammate's position is to actually play it. So instead of always saying, geez, that was a soft goal, that was this, that was that, they're like, you know what? Get in net. We'll shoot at you. You have a new appreciation. You have a new appreciation when you put the gear on and play, especially on ice. I was a really good roller hockey and deck hockey goaltender. I would have stopped that. You're right. That was not a good goal. So, all right, look, I mean, the USA is playing physical. The Kachuk brothers there was glove, face washes, scrums after the whistle. They're playing physical. It's fine. I mean, this is the type of game. But now watch what Finland does. They got a lead. Yeah. They're down 5-4, but I don't want to say they're going to really back off, but don't expect them to get too many more shots on goal this period. They got a 1-0 lead. It's like, all right, let's dump and chase. Let's relax.
Minus 210 now. A little more affordable when you know it was 5-1 at one point. Now it's minus 210. I mean, it's still pricey. You lay the puck and a half, it's plus 114, and the over-under is 6.5. Now it's up to minus 265. Money's poured in already on them.
They've hit the crossbar twice. USA has hit the crossbar twice, so they're getting chances. Yeah, they wow, there it is again. The second pipe hit already. Okay, yeah, so might be. I don't want to say it's one of those nights, but this is how these games start. There's a lot of hockey left. Hockey can flip
don't
so
change
quick.
that much. Holy crow! We're only 10 minutes in.
I know two pipes though. When you hit it, and you're just like, yeah, here we go. That was not a good goal. I just saw the replay again. So what's this college basketball thing? Do we have time now, or do you want to do it in the next segment? I'm dying to hear this college basketball line that you keep talking about. I need to know.
We got a minute. Let's do the next segment. But
okay,
I'll take a look at the college basketball board. Yeah, there is a game there. It's a little. Here you go. A little pop quiz for the audience. Right? How well do you know your college basketball? There was a line today that made. I tell you what. Listen. You have your rivalries, and you have this, and certain teams play good against other teams, and we adjust the line a little bit. But little pop quiz. What line made absolutely just zero? I don't know what kind of rivalry. I don't know what kind of hex this one team can have over the other. But there was a line today. Obscure game. That's why it's going to, test your college basketball knowledge. See if you guys can figure it out, audience. When we come back, I'll let you know. But I'll be curious to see how it turns out because, it's one of those classics that if the wrong team wins, you're going to say, I knew it. That had sucker written all over it. It really did.
Was it Morehead State against Lindenwood?
Nope. Well, you're not far off. Now, a little bit more, a little less obscure than that. Not quite that obscure. So, pretty decent game.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scoverin, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who know how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's is offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in game live. Game day here on the grid. Oh, our over is looking solid, just like last night. Yes. Oh, bam. Team USA. Was it your boy? He was on the ice. I saw him celebrating.
I didn't see who gets credit for the goal. Was Kachuk get credit for the goal? Who touches it last there? I don't know.
Let's see. It was from the point. Just kind of deflected it in. Guy fought up like 3 guys.
Yeah.
This Soros sucks. Oh, kind of see awful.
Brady Kachuk, first goal of the tournament. Yep.
Okay.
So,
there
we go.
So 1-1. That over 5.5. I'm telling you, these are all going over. I'm telling you right now, they're all going over, folks. Put them in. Put them in now. As I told you guys in the podcast. Don't
Saturday
wait
night. You're good with the Scandinavian game going over, Sweden and Finland going over, and USA Canada.
You know why? Because there's going to be 2 desperate teams. They both lost, right? Assuming Finland actually loses this game. So it's
right.
like
it becomes an elimination game essentially. Yeah. Yeah.
So why not? So back up to 460, even though it's 1-1, minus 148 on the puck line. What are they going half? And then the over-under is up to 7.5 now, although it's plus 142. It just dropped it down to minus 6.5.
Right.
6.5 minus 184. So
all right, you've left us all waiting on the edge of our seats, please. I mean, I got the shrew sending me texts. People all over the world sent their tweets at us at Opposite Picks, at BK and Sig, at SportsGrid. Tag us all watching the show. What is this crazy line in the basketball? I took my shot. Is it Texas State, UL Monroe?
Not bad. That was a pretty good one, too. There were a few today, and I was going to make like a list of 5, and then this last one just blew me over. You being the expert, I'm going to challenge you where I don't even think you, and you're great, obviously, you've done it your whole life, and giving lines. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm just going to give you the scenario, all right?
Give me the facts. Give me the facts.
Just the facts. Facts are the one team is beating the other team 21 out of 32. So it's not like there's some great, the one team that's the underdog. One team is favored, the other team is the underdog. You tell me what you think the point spread should be for this game.
Okay.
The one team that's the underdog is, well, I shouldn't say that, but it's 17 and one team is 17-7 overall, 9-2 in conference play. They're taking on a team that's 8-16 overall, 1-10 in conference play.
Who's
now, the
home?
1-10 team, I was going to say, they are at home. I will tell you the 1-10 conference team is at home. Out of their 8 wins, 3 have come against Division III schools. So in reality, they're 5-16 overall.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And the one team that's on the road is 8-2 against the spread their last 10 road games.
Have these two teams played each other yet this season, or is this the first meeting?
Second meeting.
Second meeting. What was the result of game 1 at the other places at the building of the road team? Right.
8-point win only. 8-point win.
They won by 8.
Yeah.
What was that line?
Don't know.
Okay. So if they won by 8, they probably were, I'm guessing, 6-point favorites, just based on what you've told me. Might be a little bit more. Is this is a smaller conference?
Yeah.
Where home court could actually mean something? Like it's
yes. Like not that small, but it's small enough. Football conference.
All right. I'm gonna say I would be reluctant to make the road team, despite that monster record and disparity record of the team against at home. I wouldn't make them more than a 2-point road favorite. I'd be willing to listen to either pick them as low as pick them, but I probably would make the road team just a 1.5 or 2-point favorite to start.
The home team is Sam Houston State, They're
Okay.
in last stinking place in Conference USA. They're hosting Jacksonville State, which is in first place in Conference USA, 9-2 versus 1-10. All right, that's a 16, 17 point swing, right, in games.
Right.
They made Sam Houston State a 2.5 point home favorite. How is that possible? How is that possible? Now the game's underway. I don't know the score. I purposely didn't look at the score. I think it tipped off at I think around 7:30. So it's
No,
well.
we got 11 minutes left in the game. It's 46-45. Jacksonville State is winning the game. So
wow, 46-45 only. The first place team versus the last place team, and they're getting points. How does that make any sense?
Well, I mean, first half
indicates
was tied 29-29. I got the game closed as Sam Houston State closed -2.5. The total closed 142.5. Quick look at the stats. They're dead even. Field goals 18 out of 41 to 19 out of 41. Free throws are 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4. The biggest lead of the game is 5 for 5 for one team for Jacksonville State, 3 for Sam Houston State. This is crazy. It's an evenly matched game. So, I mean, you could have 1 or 2 either way with the number. I just clicked the line history on my odds screen. I mean, somebody was thinking like me and made it pick 'em. Other ones made it small favorite, -1 on the home side. So it got bet up. And wow, a breakaway just got stopped. USA breakaway just got stopped. Hughes got out. I think it was Hughes. Big save by Finnish goalie there. Wow. Still 1-1. 6 minutes to go. So are you surprised by this, or do you like the road team? I mean, pregame, is this a play for you?
You got to take Jacksonville State, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'm getting a first place team versus the last place team, and I'm getting points. I mean, this just got sucker written all over it. The watcher was right, though. Talk about that when we come back.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scavern, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number one. So we still got 1-1 in hockey. We have time now for our Black Cloud Play of the Day. All right, really not that many games to choose from, but we do have one staple that's on the board that's going to start here in about an hour and change or so, and that's college basketball. San Francisco taking on the Zags of Gonzaga, the Bulldogs. We always play over, especially when the Zags are at home. They're a monster over team. San Francisco, they're actually a halfway decent team, which is really the key, because you don't want to have them, have to have 100 points scored by Gonzaga. They're more than capable of doing that. But San Fran's actually a halfway decent team, and no doubt they're going to come into this building thinking this is their chance to make a statement and then really get off the bubble and get into the NCAA tournament. So I think they're good for 60. I think the Zags are good for 90 at home. That's going to put it over the 152.5, which is actually a pretty low number for a Gonzaga home game. Now, usually these are in the 160s or upper 150s. So give me over 152.5, double your play, triple your play. This is not losing. We did lose last night. We're 2-1 though, not bad. But I do like the over 152.5, San Fran and the Zags.
Sounds good to me. I didn't really look at too much other than just the line on that game. So I'll take your word for it. Number seems about right. So does a blowout potential worry you here?
Little bit, but they don't generally call off the Dogs. I'd rather have a close game, honestly. But
yeah.
The Zags are better, especially at home. On the road, they call them off. At home, they don't. At home, they strive for 100. I don't know if they got some kind of goofy promotion. I thought it was goal there, where maybe you hit 100 points or 90 points and you get free fries at your local McDonald's or something like that. But they do tend to kind of run at the score a little bit at home. So I'm okay with that one.
All right.
We got who we got in action tonight? College basketball. We got our 3 over teams in college basketball. 3 of the top 6 over teams. Boys on the podcast know this, right? We had them last week. I forget who they were playing, but we got South Dakota taking on UMBC. Mm-hmm. They are the number 1 over team in all of college basketball, 18-4. Dopey, goofy South Dakota. Who would have thunk it, right? So I got to check their score against UMBC. We got North Florida, not Florida State or even South Florida. How about North Florida taking on North Alabama? They're the number 3 over team in college basketball, Dave. 18-5 over. And then our last one is North Dakota hosting Denver. They're the number 6 over team in college basketball at 17-6. Got to go at least 2-1 with those. Bet them right now, and I don't even know the score of the games. Bet the overs anyway.
I like you doing the work. When you go deep in the weeds, you give Wetzel a little bit of time. The wife leaves you alone. The kids are away at college, and you put your nose down and start to dive into those numbers. You come up with stuff like that. That gets me excited. I hope it gets you guys excited watching the show wherever you're at, because Wetzel's just, like the kids say, spitting bars right now. I mean, that is spitting bars in college basketball. Team totals of teams that ain't nobody watching, know about. That's what we do on Thursday. I like what you're doing. It's still 1-1, by the way, in the hockey game. I am locked in. You better
Denver, North Dakota, by the way, 5-0 last 5 they've met. Just to throw a little
5-0 what? To the over?
To the over. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, to the over. Okay. So let's see if we can find these scores.
You got me locked in on this Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State game, too. Now it's 55-52 under the 8-minute timeout mark. Jacksonville State leads by 3. So I don't know. Is it worth an in-game bet? I mean, they're minus 3.5 now. Jacksonville State up on top.
I mean, they're the better team, right?
They are.
But that line was so funky to begin with that I'd be a little afraid. But I did bet them. So, but 3.5's not. Yeah, I would bet that they're going to win by 7 or 8, whatever they said and done.
Jinx it! Don't jinx it.
Score?
Not gonna do it. No, they're not going to do anything yet. They win by 3, 8, 7. Just get Jacksonville State home. Just on a money line. Minus 250 early up. Wow, goodness gracious.
Jacksonville State, they're up to 6 now. 58-52 with 6:40 left is Jacksonville State.
Stay here for another hour. This
is intriguing stuff. Jacksonville State Cam Newton State.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Skovron, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who know how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is in-game live game day, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Dave for another hour, looking at some pucks, little college basketball, little NBA. We got the Four Nations tournament closing out the first period, final seconds, 1-1 still, USA versus Finland. So with that, let's talk a little hockey with our good buddy, Mr. George Kurtz. What's going on, George? How are you tonight?
It's going on. I'm trying to survive, Scotty. Rough week for me. Rough week here. Right? Football has just ended here. There's the Four Nations, but no other hockey here in baseball. A little too early to get excited about here. So I thought Major League Baseball All-Star Week was rough. This is a little rougher.
It's not that rough. We got a great hockey tournament. This Four Nations thing has me captivated. I was thinking while we were on the break with you coming in, great lines in the past always had a nickname or something. And like, you guys remember ZZ Top? Well, you guys both have Z's in your name, and I got a D, so we can be the ZZD line when we do the segments like this and we talk hockey. I mean, it works for me. I don't know if it works for you. Kurtz, I never want to see another NHL All-Star game ever again. Sign me up for this. So far, yesterday's game lived up to the billing. They walked Mario Lemieux out in the beginning of the game. They did everything in French. I was goosebumped up. I was ready to go. I felt like lacing my skates up and going out there. Do you like this stuff so far, or as a hockey fan?
I wasn't as into it until the game started last night. Canada, Team Sweden, that was a really good game. It was fun to watch here, fast-paced action. The players are taking it seriously. I think, Dave, my only beef would be, I understand what's going on in the world and the Russians and all that, but no Ovechkin, no Kaprizov. Yeah, I know he's hurt. No Panarin. Shesterkin, Vasilevsky. I mean, come on. It's not a true tournament where you don't have some of the best players who aren't eligible to play. They can't play, right? The Eastern Europeans can't play. So that's my only beef. Other than that, it's been fun. I said the players do want to play, and I echo your sentiments completely. I don't want to see another NHL All-Star game. I don't care about the skills contest, the NFL Pro Bowl, same thing. And by the way, I understand why the players don't. I understand why they don't want to play, because why do you want to take a chance on an injury going into your offseason or in the middle of the season? You think the Colorado Avalanche want to see McKinnon play hard? They're praying he doesn't get hurt now. Well, listen, in an All-Star game, so I understand why the players don't play as hard in those things. But this is much better than an All-Star game.
What do you think of the play so far in the game in a period?
It's hard because these players don't play together. They've had a couple of practices this week. All right, so you don't know lines going to keep being switched. Where's the chemistry? I look for lines that have played together. The guys on the same team. That sort of thing. Sidney Crosby was fantastic last night, and you're looking at that because. Well, aren't you a little angry though, Dave? He missed. If I'm a Penguin fan, I'm probably Scotty Farrell here. He missed the last 2 games of the regular season, and the Penguins are battling for a spot. This is not a team that's has a clutch. He missed the last 2 games. They did win. They beat the Rangers, lost to the Flyers, and last night he looked perfectly healthy and fine. Right, he played great. And isn't it something like Crosby has never lost one of these things, whether it's the gold medal games or that he just doesn't lose tournament play?
Yeah, I didn't really worry about the Penguin thing last night. It was just fun to see Sid be 37 and look 27 and make blind passes and somebody be there. We talked about it a little bit with Vecchio. It's the NBA All-Star weekend, and there's going to be movement and all these other things and whatever. But like in the NHL, as a hockey guy, is it better for the game if Sid gets traded to a contender? Because if Sid gets traded to Colorado, I said it during the break, I'm betting the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup. If he goes to place with McKinnon and is okay, I don't want to see it as a Penguin guy. And it's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me. The Pittsburgh Penguins are my first love. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and I've told my wife this exact line. I've loved the Penguins longer than you. I love you. You gave me 3 kids. I love the Penguins. I don't want to see Sid in another uniform. George, good or bad for hockey if Sid gets traded?
I mean, I don't want to see him get traded either. I like players who play their entire career with, especially superstars, icons that play their entire career with one season. I mean, listen, I'm the Cowboy guy, right? I remember Emmitt Smith playing for the Arizona Cardinals. Didn't like that. But your first question, though, is it good for the game? It probably is good for the game if he were to go to a playoff team, because this is the NHL where playoffs are 3 months. April, May, June, right? And that would be good for the game. And you make a great point. He goes to the Avalanche. They're a threat. I don't think they're a threat anyway, but they're a true threat here. Sort of replace that loss of Mikko Rantanen. So I think it is good for the game, but I'm not rooting for it. Like I said, I want Crosby to stay with Pittsburgh, finish his career there. That's probably up to him, by the way. I think if he wants to leave, they would probably do it for him, especially now once this tournament ends. I think he wanted to play here. I think he wanted to play for it, while still being a Penguin here. But after that, we're going to have about 13, 14 days before trade deadline once this tournament ends. I think it's a possibility because, let's face it, the Penguins aren't winning anything while Crosby's still there. It's going to be a couple of years here. Crosby needs to go. Malkin, Letang, they should all be traded. And by the way, Dave, I thought when Kyle Dubas took over the GM role there, I thought he was brought in to be the bad guy. That he was going to be that guy. He's going to be the hatchet man, right? They'll blame him.
Yeah.
Where is, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you guys know, but he's from Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia. So is that near any, I'm thinking Toronto would be like, maybe this is exactly what the Maple Leafs need to kind of finally get over the hump. Is that near Winnipeg? Any idea where that's from? Where he can at least say I'm going back home?
It's in Prince Edward Island, the far east coast tip of Canada. So it's the most northernmost corner, northeast Canada.
Toronto, Montreal are the 2 closest teams as far as Canada
would be the closest Canadian teams. Yeah, but he doesn't have to go to Canada. I mean, him and McKinnon are from the same town. They work out together in the offseason. This would be childhood friends. Yeah, not childhood friends, but like McKinnon looked up to Crosby and kind of idolized him.
What they had to give up to get him? I just don't. I mean, they just made the big trade, traded Rantanen. Pittsburgh's not giving him away for free. I mean,
I
it's going
forget
to be
what the Bruins got, but I know the Bruins didn't get a whole lot for
Ray Bork.
Yeah, they did it as a favor, George.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
Bork was more at the end of his career. Sidney's still damn good.
Wow. How many more years do you think he
he's
has
a top
left?
10, top 12 scorer in the NHL. He's still a damn good player. They're not going to give him away.
Though.
They're not.
I don't think you're going to get a whole lot for him. He's going to pick which team he wants to go. That's why I was thinking maybe that would ease the transition. He's going to pick a team that's close to his home. He grew up being a Canadiens fan or a Maple Leafs fan or whatever. But I didn't realize the McKinnon factor. That makes a little bit of sense.
George, Saturday night, I don't know about you, but I have already made plans. I've cleared the calendar. I cannot wait to watch USA play Canada. After we saw what we saw yesterday from Canada, what we're seeing so far from the U.S., do you have a side in that game, like right now? Because the game's a dead pick'em, totals higher than the other totals have been. Side or total in that game Saturday night?
Well, listen, if USA doesn't pick it up here, they lose this game. That'll be a must-win game for them, right? They'll be on the or borderline of not making it. You have to beat Finland. In my mind, they're the weakest of the 4 teams in this tournament here, especially with all the injuries have. Listen, I'm on Team USA to win the tournament. Maybe I'm a homer here, but they have the best goaltending. It just comes down to that. Hellebuck, by far, is the best goaltender in this tournament, which in my mind gives them a big edge here. Offensive defense is probably slight edges in both to Canada, but goaltending, big edge to Team USA. Give me Team USA, but it's a must-win if they lose tonight.
Do you think they lose?
No, they better not. I'm on Team USA. Got 2 out of 3 right last night, so they better win tonight.
Wow. All right, talk with George. George, maybe we'll do some hockey since they're in a break here. We'll do some NHL with you, George, when we come back.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. We got a little pause here in the Four Nations tournament. They're in between the first and second period, 1-1. So we're talking a little hockey with our good buddy George Kurtz. So, the one downside to this, George, is that the NHL isn't going to be around for a couple of weeks. So I imagine that's going to put maybe, I haven't looked at the schedule, the Stanley Cup Finals, maybe not quite head-to-head with the NBA Finals, but pretty darn close, which actually would be kind of cool, going back and forth between the NBA Finals and NHL Finals. But your impressions of the first half, we get the trade deadline about a month away. We were talking about that in the break. You got a number of teams, big market teams that right now would be on the outside looking in the Eastern Conference. No Boston Bruins, no Montreal, no Detroit, no Rangers, no Pittsburgh Penguins, no Flyers in the playoffs. Kind of been a wacky, first half of the season in the Eastern Conference, no?
Yeah, but those teams you just brought up here, outside of the New York Rangers, which most people thought were going to be a cup contender, I don't think we loved any of those other teams. Detroit, maybe they get in, maybe they don't. Boston, I didn't think was all that great. But granted, I probably thought they'd at least get a wild card spot, but they play in a rough division, right? You got Tampa, you got Florida, you got Toronto. Tough. All right, so I don't think we can be all that surprised by them. Pittsburgh, no. Philadelphia, no. Montreal, no. So I don't think we're all that surprised other than the Rangers here. I think the story of the first half, it's got to be that teams sort of use this Four Nations tournament as an unofficial trade deadline. Right, we saw Rantanen be traded. Everything that went wrong in Vancouver. All right, with all the the crap, the locker room stuff going on between JT Miller and Pedersen, and then Miller gets traded to the Rangers. All right, we'll see if things fix there. So I think that's what really the first half was. We don't see those kinds of trades, top players being traded here, but we saw those moves here. And if the Rangers can get into the playoffs, by the way, I think they're a dangerous, dangerous team here. That win where they beat Columbus right before the break, big time wins. Columbus is ahead of them. So Rangers can be a very dangerous team if they can get their heads on straight, fix that defense. You added JT Miller. Everything gets integrated now with this little break here. Could be very good for the New York Rangers.
It could. The Capitals have been a really good story and have really, really played well. And we're talking about, I think, the biggest surprise. Yet when you look at the future board, it's still not like they're the team that is at the top. And, me and Carver do the NHL show every Friday, and we talk about the standings at one point or another during a segment. When is it time to believe in the Caps?
When I think Capitals, Dave, all that keeps going through my head is Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
they're gonna,
ouch! Wow,
they're going to lose first round.
They won a cup.
It's not that. I just don't think they're all that great a team. I think they've had a great regular season. As Dave said, they are the biggest pleasant surprise. But I just don't expect big things from them. I just don't, not come playoff time.
Wow. So you're not taking the 17-1 that they are right now.
Not buying it.
No.
Not buying it. All right.
Okay.
Are you buying Winnipeg this year? Or is this going to be the same old with them?
Until they win and prove it to me, no. I keep saying it over and over again. They are the Dallas Cowboys, right? Great regular season. Poo up the bed come the playoffs. So no, until they do it, until they at least advance a round, which dying here, so I'm going to choke like the Winnipeg Jets are. Until they win a round here. Right. And by the way, they could end up playing Colorado in round 1 again. So who they played last year. So no, until I see them do it, I'm not going to buy in on the Jets.
For the longest time in the 80s, the Penguins had to get out of the Patrick division, and they had to play the Caps, and they couldn't beat the Caps. So until the Jets figure out a way to beat the Avalanche, you're right. I think we'll see. I mean, Hellebuck let in that first goal tonight was a soft goal. Hopefully he has a good run here, plays in these meaningful, high-pressure hockey games in front of a lot of people, gets that confidence either from the Jets or from people backing them betting-wise. I got to ask you, let's swing it a little bit to baseball real quick, because today the Red Sox signed Bregman, and people ask me, does that move the number? I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, it helps the Red Sox, but I know you're a Yankee guy. AL East, is it just Yankees yes and everyone else no? Or does this give the Red Sox or anyone betting the Red Sox a little more hope that they can actually win a division.
I think the Yankees do win the division, but I think the Red Sox have made good moves. I think they're back in wild card play again. They're not going to be uncompetitive. It's a good squad. I'm curious to see what the Red Sox do with Bregman, because if you really want to win, and this is where it's tough for the Sox, because you only signed Bregman's got opt-outs. He may only be there for 1 year. He should really play third base, and Devers should play any place else but third. He's like the worst defensive third baseman in baseball here. It should be a DH. But do you want to make that move for what might be 1 year? So that's the problem here. But I like what the Sox have done. I mean, you got Crochet, Howe, Bell. I mean, it's a good squad. I don't think they're great. And maybe not a lot of depth, but it's a good squad here. I don't think Bregman puts him over the top. Bregman's a good player. I don't think he's great or fantastic. But playing him at second base and Devers at third, doesn't that weaken your defense at two different spots? I mean, I don't think I'd be thrilled about that here. Plus, the Red Sox have a top prospect coming up who's a second baseman. I don't want to block him. So I like the moves. Sox are going to be dangerous here. Yankees number one. I think Sox right now I might have it number two. I am so ticked off at the Baltimore Orioles. Why aren't you going for it? Why aren't you going for it? So you've added nothing. You lost Burns. No. I mean, what are you waiting for with all these young stars you have? You can't play them all anyway. They should have been making trades, re-sign Burns. Very disappointed. We'll see about Toronto as well here. A team that never seems to be able to put it together. And I'm guessing if they don't put it together this year, Guerrero is traded by the deadline. He's going to be going bye-bye.
That would be something. That really would be just crazy. But the problem I have with the Bregman trade is $40 million, George, for a guy who hits 20, 25 home runs, is a 265 hitter.
Yeah.
It's deferred. A lot of deferred money there.
Yeah. But he's not opting out of that. Who the hell's giving him more than that next year? He's going to be there for 3 years, $120 million.
He turned down 671, so he'd have to get more than that.
The money is unrelatable anymore. You can't worry about the money. They're spending it. They're deferring it. None of it matters anymore.
Crazy. George, great job, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks, bud.
Anytime, boys.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week, to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scoverin, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again, George Kurtz, for joining us, talking a little pucks here. And I will say they're underway. Second period still tied at 1, 3 minutes in. Last thing on the baseball, Dave, just being a Red Sox fan, we were talking in the break. The thing that's upsetting, listen, I'm a Red Sox fan, so am I happy they got Bregman? Yes. If I don't care about the contract, yeah, absolutely. He'll help the team. But the guys that they let go, the Mookie Betts, the Xander Bogarts, because they didn't want to pay them, which, okay, if that's your stance, that's your stand. And now a couple of years later, Mookie's got a couple of World Series rings, and Xander Bogaerts is on a good team, and yet you're going to pay Alex Bregman $40 million, but you wouldn't pay Bogaerts or Mookie that kind of money? Like, that's what's really kind of frustrating as a Red Sox fan.
I think they make decisions now based on time as well as money. So 5 years plus, there's going to be teams. I see the argument where you can't give anyone more than a 5-year contract, no matter who they are, what position, unless they're 23 or something. But everyone sees the back end of the contract, and I can't help but unsee Albert Pujols at the end of his. And they paid him a lot of money, and they got a couple really tough years where it was like, geez, we're paying this guy, make him DH, make he can't run, don't make him play the field no more. Okay. But so I get it both ways. It's the money's the money, and the whole system is out of whack, and it's a good discussion for fans, but at least like for betting purposes and talking about sport and the game and the numbers, we don't have to worry about it. Speaking of game and numbers, did you see Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State final? It is now final. Sam Houston State 66, Jacksonville State 61. The home team covers the spread, the bad record, all of that said, win by 5. Put it on the board. That was for the Shrew. The Shrew saw it coming. He sent me a text during a break and said, it's Sam Houston State. It's the only side I'd bet. He didn't bet it, but he should have. Sam Houston State money line gets you to the window. So does they cover the spread, 2.5.
They were favored. The last place team, we're not talking a great basketball conference, but, it's a decent conference. Any conference that has football, I think, is kind of separates themselves from some of the others, except for the Big East. So, but, so the first place team in Conference USA couldn't beat the last place team and couldn't even cover the spread getting 2.5 points. They win by 5. That's just amazing to me.
That time of year.
Home court, does it mean that much home court advantage, right? I mean,
sometimes it does. Yeah. I mean, without doing a deep dive on the game, we'll have to go look at the post game and see. But we'll put that one in the memory banks for the conference tournament, Conference USA. This is when you can really start to find stuff like that. I tell people this all the time. You want to get good at this, and you like college basketball. If you really love college basketball, pick a conference like this and dive into it. And if you knew that number was right and or wrong, you can bet with your opinion. Find a way to get ahead of odds makers or alongside them, because you got to put up numbers for every game. And it's one of those ones that you put in the memory banks. Now, when it gets on a neutral, I expect Jacksonville State to recover. And if they meet in the conference tournament, Jacksonville State will be a significant favorite of probably 3.5 to 4 points or more, and I would side with them.
Crazy. Even on the money line. Well, not even. They were an underdog. I mean, they were begging you. They were begging you to take Jacksonville State. How could you possibly, who in their right mind saw that game, Dave, and said, I like the last place team laying points to the first place team, right? I mean, how could you possibly think that? And
there's people that think that all the time. That's what goes on. They come in with a limit play on that. And you go, okay. So I don't know. I just got a message from the Shrew. He says he's on the Summit League because of you. He watches us do the show every night. He likes watching the Summit League games. He's all over the Summit League games. Yeah.
That's the North Dakotas and the South Dakotas. Yeah, absolutely.
Simply because of you and the show. That's great.
There you go. I'm telling you, sometimes you get better angles on these goofy games. Although sometimes you get games like we just talked about. So with Jacksonville State,
right?
But yeah, you got to pick your points in there. So let's go Denver, North Dakota. We need some points in that one for the over the hit. I got to check the other one when we come back. All right, in-game live game day here on the grid.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scoverin, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2, half hour to go. We got Cam Stewart coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Do some pucks with him, no doubt, and see what else he's got on his betting slate for the night. So we're back underway. Still stuck at this 1-1 here. They're going up and down the ice like last night, although we're getting a lot more hitting tonight, right, Dave? I can see corner of my eye. I see a lot more guys getting banged up a little bit. We just had a penalty, I do believe. Yeah, USA's on a power play now, start 2 minutes. So 12 and a half minutes left, second period. Still tied at 1. Still a monster -4-1. How long before this becomes like a normal betting number if you wanted to bet USA? Would it have to get into the third period, 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left, before it got to -140, 150, 160, something along those lines?
Didn't happen last night until they went to overtime. It literally, because I was watching it and looking at the number, and Canada was still over 3-1 favorite. And then Sweden tied it, and it went back to the original number, which was between $2 and -250. And then it really started to come down as time got off the clock, but they were still favored in a pick'em game. So this one will stay skewed toward U.S. I don't know how. You can't be a 3-1 favorite in a 1-1 game. As we get to the halfway point, it doesn't make sense. But that's how a lot of times how the system works. It defaults to what the game closed as to how often do you move it. I don't know. I'm watching a game with you. I'm watching a game with everybody here watching us, and it's 13 shots to 11.
Pretty
USA
even.
leads. Pretty even. Power plays 0 for 2 and 0 for 1. It's a really well played game, and Finland's playing, like I call it, that perfect road game so far. Again, three bars hit, 2 crossbars and 1 post for the U.S. Power play chance right here, Scott. To answer your question, that number is going to come down a lot if the U.S. doesn't score on this power play. It's going to drastically. I don't know if it's going to come down to like pick 'em range, but it'll go back to 2-1, like, or somewhere in that neighborhood. -1, maybe -180, but probably 2-1 if they don't score.
I know in their first power play they had no shots on goals at all. I don't know how many they got for this one. I think 1. I would think.
There was a pass just now. Wetzel was on the doorstep and he missed it. It went bounced over his stick. Otherwise, if he catches that pass, he can just push it right in because he was on the side. Nobody was watching him. But there's only been really one danger chance, and that's it. That's it, full strength. So they kill the penalty off. There's no power play goal. And we got, Matt Dees keeping an eye on the game. We'll know via the goal horn when a goal scored. So nothing yet. What's your in-game now on the game?
Right now it's -340. Over-under is still 5.5. We're getting to 6 goals.
Adding. That's crazy. Yeah, I would be worried if I had the over right now. I'd be worried.
Yeah. It's heavily juiced for the under, -174. It's going to flip to 4.5 before long. But like I said, I think we get a lot more scoring in these games. So all right, so 1-1. We've had some power plays, we've had some chances. If USA actually loses this game in regulation, we'll just say the worst case scenario. It's only the top 2 teams, right? You play the round robin, you play each team once. Top 2 teams playing the championship. You get 3 points for a win, a regulation win. So they're not going 0-2. They're not missing out on 2 points like in the NHL. They're missing out on 3 points. Finland, goofy Finland, would have 3 points. If Finland, beats Sweden, we'll say, now they got 6 points. Yeah. USA would have to win their next games and then go into a tiebreaker, but they would lose the tiebreaker versus Finland. Because I know the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. When it's between 2 teams. I looked that up. So, I mean, they really would be put behind the 8 ball if they were to lose this game. So
no doubt. Yeah. Do we dare roll the dice again like we did last night? The Timberwolves are up 60-50 over the Thunder. It's pick 'em right now. It's pick 'em. I don't know if I don't feel confident doing it again.
I know. Let me see if Anthony Edwards. I'm guessing Edwards is not playing because they wouldn't have been that big a favorite if he was playing. He is playing. Wow, they were an almost double-digit underdog.
Yeah,
and Anthony Edwards is in the lineup.
Well,
got 10 points.
It's a pick'em game. -115 right now, and
think about this.
To do it again.
Minnesota's leading by now it's 6, but still Minnesota is leading, and they're getting basically nothing from Anthony Edwards. 2 of 10 from the floor, 10 points, but 0 of 6 from 3. Is that going to continue, or is he going to turn it on second half? I'd take OKC.
Matt, go to Scott's ISO. Go to Scott's ISO real quick. Go to Scott's ISO. Thank you. All right. I'll be back. Go.
I would take OKC. They're laying 2.5. They're one of the best spread teams in the NBA. Minnesota's one of the worst. So it'll flip. They're just kind of screwing around, kind of like they did last night. So Houston's getting crushed by Golden State 74-53. That's a little bit of a surprise. Warriors lead by 21 over the Rockets. And Dallas and Miami tied at 56. And you got how about this one? Utah Jazz. They're leading the LA Clippers. 35-26 are the Jazz. Now, it's still 4.5. Still going to lay 4.5 with the Clippers, which is tough, down 9. But still, is Utah going to win back-to-back games against the Lakers?
City of Los Angeles?
Clippers?
they take down the Lakers one night, then they bring the Clippers to town and take them out too? Probably not. I would say no.
Right.
But again, it's the last night. Just be careful. It's the last night before the All-Star break. Strange things happen. I wish I would have had would it close 9.5? I'd be more apt to take the 4.5 or take the Jazz on the money line right now and actually take them plus 150 because they probably, win the game. I don't know, cover. Oh, just missed a pass. USA had an odd man rush and missed the pass, and now it results in an odd man rush for Finland. This is crazy. This is really the game it's 1-1, but I feel like it's opening up here in the second period, which is unusual. But yeah, 9 minutes to go, still tied 1-1. I don't know, Jazz. I'm not ready to do it. We'll have Cam on next segment. Did you see any of the golf today? Did you see beautiful, quote unquote, warm, quote unquote, sunny San Diego? Did you see any of the conditions today? What it was like in San Diego?
Was it awful? I know it was supposed to be bad, right? Was it as bad as we were talking yesterday? Really?
Wind was blowing.
I forgot about it.
It looked like the Open Championship. It was
really.
It's bad. We didn't have rain here in Las Vegas for 216 days. It did not rain. Okay. It's been raining. It started raining overnight. It is still raining now in Las Vegas. It's one of those days that you were used to back east. You guys watching a show in different parts of the country where you have 4 seasons and you have a gray day where you don't see the sun and it rains nonstop. You all know what I'm talking about. We had that today. And it was like that at the golf course. So I'll be interested to see what Cam has to say about that. We'll throw everything off.
The leader's only 4 under par, Denny McCarthy. Everybody else, there's only a handful of guys that are actually under par. So we'll take a little break. Cam Stewart, get some goals here, boys. Coming up next here in the Grid.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scaver when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who know how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome in. Welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave heard a little bit of a horn. Was that just a faux pas,
No.
or was that maybe a goal? No goal.
No goal. No goal. No.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Trying to root that thing home. Trying to root home a goal. I saw what you did there. Yeah.
Like giving up hope, but no goal. All right, so 1-1. We stand here in the second period, where usually the second period is where all the goals come, right? We had 2 in the first, none so far here in the second, 5.5 left.
Right.
Down to 320. It's coming down and down and down. Over-under is at 4.5, still heavily juiced. I mean, the boys in Vegas, Dave, clearly think we're going to get some goals here. They're expecting at least 3 more because they're making you pay the price for over 4.5. I don't know. I saw it last night, but I don't know if I'm seeing it tonight. This has got like 2-1 written, maybe 3-1 with an empty netter written all over it, to tell you the truth.
There's been a couple big saves on both ends. Hellebuck made one on Finland. I thought the puck squirted out, and he almost ended up with like a half breakaway one-on-one with Hellebuck. He made a big save. The U.S. is putting a lot of pressure on. The shots on goal are 15-13, though. So not a lot of pucks getting to the net, but a lot of action. We got 5.5 minutes to go. Still tied at 1. We do this show every night during the regular season of hockey. I can't believe the line's that big. I cannot believe the line's that big.
Yeah.
Think about that. If the line's that big, if Finland scores the next goal, they're still not going to be favored in a 2-1 game late in the second period. That doesn't make any sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's crazy. Finland, they're giving you, total goals for Finland. It's 1.5 minus 175. So basically, they're telling you they don't think they're scoring again.
Right. Okay.
Take the under, it's plus 130.
All
USA's 2.5 minus 185.
Cam's working, efforting to get ready in the back. Hopefully, if he gets set, if he's good to go, we'll bring him in. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Right, there you
Cam,
go. Let's bring in our good buddy.
watching this hockey game. Cam Stewart, welcome. What do you think?
Welcome, Dave. I can tell you one thing. I'll give Gabe credit. Finland's no joke. Like they don't mind playing a physical game. Like that's the whole thing. Like people underestimate this country all the time. I had final score USA 3, Finland 2. Renzi thinks Finland can win. He's got this parlay he had with Sweden plus 2.5 and Finland plus 2.5 was plus 112 or one. Like so, it was the plus 1 getting 2.5 goals. That's smart. These teams are going to take a while to get used to each other. And I got to tell you, man, Saros has been fine. Scott, I hear what you guys are talking about. I like under 4.5 plus 165 on my FanDuel account.
Yeah.
I can see this game being like 2-1 with an empty netter, exactly the way Wetzel sees it. I don't see a team going bananas. Like Finland doesn't want to get into a track meet. They're very happy playing a 1-1 game. Like for them, this is perfect. USA, sure, they're better. They're a better team, but it's going to take a while for these guys to gel. The Finnish team, and everyone talked about, they're missing their big defenseman, blah, blah, blah. Next man up at this tournament. When pride and country, it's on the line, and I'm very, very impressed with the Finns. And hey, guys, it's the same thing with Canada. Like we were running away. This Sweden comes back, and did you see that overtime, guys? And I'll tell you, screw the All-Star game after this.
I never want to see another one. Never want to see another one.
All-Star game. We hardly knew you. You're gone. We're gonna have this tournament, or no, you do. You have an All-Star game. Like you know what I mean? And then you have like. You have to have something like this is where it's at. And maybe once in a while they can't do it every year. They'll go, we'll throw in something. But I just love this format. I just think it's fantastic. I think it's evenly matched. Everyone's like, where's Russia and Chechnya? No, whatever, man. It's Sweden, Finland, USA, and Canada. It's fine. Nice round robin tournament, guys. And I'll tell you, Gabe and I were on the air in that Sweden-Canada game. We were going nuts. Like Binnington standing at that. Like, did you see Gustafsson, the wild goalie? Like ding dong, ding dong. Like he is awesome. Like the goaltending we saw in that game and the chances, the speed. This is
everything.
Honest to God, I'm looking at this going, this is playoff hockey. These guys are playing harder now than they are in the regular season.
It seems tremendous. What do you think about Saturday night? The game is a pick'em. And I mean, the Bell Center was electric for Canada. That was, the whole thing. They walked Lemieux out. The building almost blew off. The ceiling almost blew off the building. I was so excited. Crosby does a behind-the-back pass, a blind pass, and McKinnon's right there and knocks it in. I can't wait to watch the game Saturday night. I cannot wait to watch. But what I'm seeing so far, I can't believe the Lions only pick them. I'd have to make Canada a significant favorite. I think they're going to win.
Here's the deal, Dave. This Canada hockey program, and we've talked about it a lot of negatives, okay? Look what happened in the World Juniors. We didn't even get there. You guys played Finland in the finals and beat them in overtime. All recently, on a global perspective, the program has been done. And now the pros are like, enough is enough here. Like, we have to represent the nation. We love hockey. Like, you know what I mean? They're taking it upon their shoulders to say, for all the past failures, and like we used to dominate in this thing, now like we're not even getting to the finals. We have to play better. And it's showing. All your Pittsburgh Penguins too, Dave. Like, Crosby is an absolute machine. The guy's an old man just killing kids out there. Like, what is happening is not being documented enough. And Dave, can you believe my boy Mitch Marner scores the winner? It's just classic Leafs. Marner. Hey, Marner. Now he's a national hero. Thank you, Mitch. It's so funny. And seeing the Leafs stars all broken up on Sweden, Canada, and USA with matches, it's the best thing ever. I got to tell you guys, I'm taking the under live in this game. And Dave, I am taking Canada. I'm not going to lie to you. I've taken USA over Canada before. I remember when they beat them in the World Juniors. I thought there was too much pressure. I picked my spots with Canada, and this is the time I will pick my spot. Give me Canada to beat the USA. It'll be a thrilling game too. Wouldn't even be surprised if it was a 1-goal game or an overtime game. But Canada looks a little bit better than the USA, in my opinion. Sweden's a damn good team too.
Yeah, with all the Trump tariff stuff, that the building will really be Jewish.
Well, we want to be friends. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Like, we're neighbors. We want to come down and party with you guys. Back to New York City. It's like, well, bro, like, talk to Mexico, man. Like, get off our backs. Like, we just want to play hockey and party with that. Like, you guys down there and have a great time.
Don't boo the national anthem. That's all.
Yes. That's don't boo anybody's national anthem. That's wrong. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Slow play, drum beat grows louder and louder every week, to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Skovron, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are to learn, we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience, who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5-game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5-game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, final segment before Cam and Gabe take over. No doubt they'll continue to watch Team USA and Sweden or in Finland here. And we do have a goal. Oh, yeah, Matt Baldy. Matt Baldy of Team USA. The Minnesota Teacup Juniors. So, 1. Team USA now leads. All right, now we're back in the over. We're back alive.
You're live. You're live.
We're live.
1-1 going to the third, not so live.
Yeah.
2-1 going to the third, much better. There's still 3 minutes left, just under 3 minutes. Maybe you get another goal here. Things would be looking really up for you and the over. But that was like a sigh of relief for anybody that had USA. We gotta get a lead here.
Look at a number now. Look at a number now.
What is it? How bad is it? What is it? Minus what? 600?
1,400. Yeah.
14?
1,400. Yeah. 14-1. Wow. In a 2-1 game in the second period.
That's just telling you we just don't want to take any more bets on this. That's
Right.
what that's telling me. You just don't want to take any more USA bets. You only get one-sided action at that number. Nobody's laying 1,400. If you are, good luck. I mean, 2-1 in a hockey game with only a period left in 2 minutes. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that number before. Oh, that's wild. So I got to ask you, what's tomorrow look like for you? Valentine's Day, you big romantic guy, all these other things that you do. Yeah, I mean, seriously, is it you got a box of chocolates, you got flowers, you got anything planned tomorrow, or is it just another day for you and the missus? What's the plan?
Another day in the neighborhood. And it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so she trumps the wife. So I kind of get Yeah, I get lucky. I got lucky with that one. I must say. So and the wife can't really yell and scream. It's your daughter's birthday. What are you gonna do? So everything, all attention's with her. Now she's up in Boston right now, but still, it's good enough of an excuse.
Boy, the pressure that's going to be on her boyfriend to come through for Valentine's Day and your birthday. Boy, that's a hell of a parlay right there for that kid. That's gonna put him to the test. He's gonna have a lot of things.
And let me tell you, with this daughter, right? She sent us a list of birthday presents she wanted. like a Christmas list, like 4 pages. I swear to God, it's 4 pages long, right?
4 pages?
4 pages, right? So any boyfriend that she has, they're going to have to give her a birthday present and a Valentine's Day. But there's no okay, I'm going to combine it in one. Not with this daughter. The other daughter, yeah, but this one, no, pal. No, you got to buy twice. Yeah, and she'll let you remind she'll remind you of that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of heat. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of heat. Is this list double-sided or one-sided? 4 pages,
no,
one-sided?
It is one side. I will say that. But there's subtitles. She's got different categories. Whether it's clothes, whether it's home stuff, facial stuff. For the car, does she get the car now? Oh yeah, it's all like written out, typed out.
Between you and me,
that's it. Congratulations.
I learned a long time ago, like, I'm sorry that I even asked, like, what do you want? And then you get a list. You know what? I just expect you to send me a text with like 2 things, and then you send me this long list. So now I just resorted a lot of times to just you just tell me what you want. I'll just give you the cash. Go get it yourself. I can't do all this. You got to get this. It has to be this color. It has to be this, that. I want to get you what you want, but man, I don't need all that. I don't know what we're doing. I'm trying to hustle either a babysitter or somebody to watch the little one, and maybe I'll take them both out to dinner. Maybe we'll go out to a nice steak dinner or something. I don't know what's on the menu, but we'll be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be here. Yep, we'll definitely be here. But no real sports, right? There's no NBA tomorrow. Obviously, there's the hockey, the one hockey game. And then
we're
going to
preview Saturday has some great games, including Alabama, Auburn, number 1, number 2 in the country. SEC's the best tournament in the country. I'm going to the SEC basketball tournament, made the finalization plans today. I got you a ticket. You need to come down. We'll hang out and go to some basketball games in March. Just keep that in mind. Put that in your back pocket.
All right. That's not bad. I'll deal with that. So, Ed, of course, award-winning Opposite Picks tomorrow as well.
Can't wait.
All right. Let's get some goals. We got to stop.
Go USA!